Hello, everybody. Ron Ipack here. Welcome to the Hump Day Chat. This dude here, I don't know, what the hell's your name? Never met you before.
Oh, yeah. God, I forget to change my name all the time. I can't be Ron Ipack. That wouldn't work.
I know, right? I'm looking at the screen. It's like, hey, that's me in about 20 years.
Oh, thanks. I'd like to be Ron Ipack only in terms of all the time you work out.
That's right.
I want to slug and eat whatever I want, not work out and be healthy like you. But
well, no, you trust me, you don't want to do the workout. It's not working out.
I just want the benefits.
Exactly. I hate working out. I love having already worked out. You know, that's the difference. But anyway, welcome everybody. What's that?
Say, which in a strange way is kind of what we're talking about a little bit today.
Absolutely. In a very strange way. It's what we're talking about today. So welcome to the Wednesday Hump Chat. Thanks for joining us. What we're going to be talking about today is the difference between suck and success. Okay. And this idea kind of came up because tomorrow I leave to go out to Kansas City and speak at the Vision Expo. I've got a day of marketing that I'm going to be sharing with the people out there. And traditionally what happens whenever Jerry or I speak at, events like this, we find a lot of owners going to the technical seminars and what they're looking for is the latest tool and the technique and repair doomaflagy thing that's going to make the repairs better, and instead of doing what an owner needs to do. Okay, you all done graduated to being owners at some point. You might be technicians at heart, you may love to do that, but you're an owner now. And when you're at an expo like that, when there's a lot of management style classes there, that's what you should be taking. That's kind of, my little argument, our argument today on the Hump Day Chat. But before we dive into this thing, I just want to kind of let you know what we have available for you. So every Wednesday, well, we didn't do last Wednesday, we kind of got a little busy. Sorry about that. But almost every Wednesday, Jerry and I get together on these Hump Day Chats and spend about 15, 20 minutes talking about something that will help you as an auto repair shop owner. Totally free. Inside this group, Successful Shop Owner, lots of information we try to keep posting in there and keep you engaged as well. That's all for free, but we also run a small group coaching program. It's a group coaching program called a War Room. A War Room allows you to go on any fraction of the investment of a regular coaching program and get coached by me and Jerry in a group setting. And that happens once a week. Plus you get access to, a couple hundred training videos inside that group. And also, when you're ready to really rock and roll, get in a fast lane, that's where we have our Maverick Shop Owner group. That's where you're working one-on-one with Jerry. Jerry's going to take you by the hand and take you down that yellow brick road to the bank where you're going to deposit all this newfound money, help your business make more money, grow, be more profitable, and a whole lot more easy to run instead of beating your head against the wall like most owners do. So that's what we have available for you. But today, let's go ahead and hop in. Jerry, you had something to say?
You said yellow brick road, and I said no ruby slippers.
Go pawn them babies. Yeah, so, all right, back to today's thing, because I really this really it immediately popped in my head this morning when I was thinking about get my stuff together, get my presentation together. Because what happens is every time I go to these things, Jerry, I don't know if it's the same thing for you, but I look out in the room and the room's maybe about half full of owners and the rest are, somebody that works at the shop that the owner says, here, go learn this. Tell me what you learned. Because what they want to do is they want to go have fun. They want to learn the latest the latest diagnostics and the worker bee stuff, the technician stuff. That's where they want to be. They want to be with the guys in the back, and either those that are owners that show up, fantastic, but way too often I find them also sending along their assistant or the girl that works in the office or answers the phone or their service advisor or something like that, because that's just not where they're focus is. And that's, I got to ask you that question. Where is your focus?
And I think about, some of the challenge with that is, or I see why it happens, right? Most of us grew up in this business as technicians. Hell, they didn't call them technicians way back when I was in the business. We were all mechanics, and we grew up, man, I love cars. I go to the car shows in town here in Cleveland, Ohio. I'm going to go to the car show this weekend. I mean, I love looking at cars, like to get my hands dirty working on cars, all of that. That's how we grew up. It's what we do. But when you do that, when you take that role of a technician, you vacate the seat of the owner. I was
Get
thinking
it
when I
backwards.
was preparing for
Get that
this.
backwards.
I had it backwards.
Yeah. When you take the role of the owner, the technician has to take the back seat.
No, what I said, you vacate the seat. When you take the role of a technician,
Right.
there's nobody in the owner's seat. You
Right.
vacate
Oh,
that.
I got you. Never mind.
You know.
I'll shut up. I'll just.
Oh, that's okay. And, I got to think about, sometimes when you start off in business, and we've been through a whole bunch of different business trainings and all of that. I eat, sleep, I just think about business all the time. One of the first principles somebody would probably have you do is complete an org chart. I don't care how big or how small your business is. And what they would do is say, okay, so here's the service advisor. What are his responsibilities? Maybe here's the technician. What are his responsibility? Here's the owner. What are his responsibilities? They take a look at, you're responsible for marketing, finance, those types of things. And I know you can't be everything to everybody. So, what are the owner's responsibilities, and are you vacating that seat? I love cars, so it's easy to go look at that shiny whiz bang tool when you go to Vision or try to get the latest training. And hey, let's take a look. There's ADIS, there's all these shiny objects out there, but really none of them. I found a long time ago, you can be the best mechanic and fix cars better than anybody else, and it usually doesn't add a dime into your pocket.
Yeah. You want proof of that? You want proof? Okay, let's think about everybody in their mind. Who has the best hamburger franchise in the world, the most profitable hamburger franchise in the world? Well, you probably already know. The first thing that popped in your head is McDonald's. Now, I don't care whether you like the burger or not, but actually that's my point. See, McDonald's doesn't have the best hamburger in the world, okay? Yet they're the most successful, they're the most profitable in the world, okay? So you could be an amazing tech, but as Jerry just said, it doesn't add more money to your pocket there. The reason why McDonald's is the most profitable in the world, the best in the world at what they do, is because they have the best business model. Okay. Along with that, they have the best business plan for each one of the owners. They have the best systems in place. They got what's it called, a hamburger university, that everybody learns how to do the job the right way, not just any old way, the right way. They've got, the best training in place. They have the best marketing. They have the ability to innovate and move and shift their business plan based on what's going on out there. They do not have the best product. Okay, so having the best product, it's important. I'm not going to say you can do shoddy work and get by with it, but we deal with owners here. If you are watching this inside Successful Shop Owner, it's called Successful Shop Owner, not Successful Technician, right? It's a different skill set. Jerry said you vacated the one. Look, when you decided to become an owner, you now have the responsibility of actually making money. You're actually, responsible for the lifestyle that you're going to live and the family, how they're going to, the lifestyles that they're going to have. But then you also have employees, and you owe it to them to provide a good place to work, a place that's making money that can afford to have them there. And they have to support their own families based on what you do. So you have an enormous responsibility. And it's not all about fixing a car anymore. It's about fixing your business. And I don't care whether we're talking about going to Vision or we're talking about a tool. So how many times have you spent gobs of hours researching or going to training, or how many thousands and thousands of dollars you spend on a tool? So how much have you really spent on the skill that actually makes the business work? Most people don't look at it that way.
Something I thought about when you were using the McDonald's thing. And by the way, I got hungry. My stomach must have heard McDonald's and made a few noises. But I challenge you to go into McDonald's the next time and walk up to the counter and say, is the owner here? They probably don't even know who it is. Maybe his name is on a frame in the wall. And I'm not saying that's just because, you know, they're wealthy or whatever. You know, I know McDonald's franchises are ultimately really successful, but it's because that owner isn't flipping hamburgers. That technician in him isn't fixing cars. He's working on the business. How do I grow from one McDonald's franchise to two? You know, somebody's definitely watching the finances in that business and training and watching the key performance indicators and do all of that. You can guarantee it. But I guarantee you the owner's not flipping hamburgers.
Yeah. So for those of you, and this actually is really geared more towards the technicians turn owners, right? Because you got into this business because you love working on cars, you love cars, things like that. So, you know, this actually happens to be more prevalent along the people that kind of went from the turning wrenches to being an owner and still wanting to turn wrenches. But you have to put on a different brain. You have to put on a separate pair of glasses. You know, we call it the difference between a technician brain and an owner brain. And a technician looks at a car and he salivates over, you know, oh, I could fix that. I can diagnose this. I can figure out what's going on. I got the tools. I got the training. He gets all excited about fixing the car. Okay. So no matter what it is, whether it's going to be a profitable job or not, if it's going to eat up 2 weeks worth of your time or 2 minutes of your time, you're thinking about fixing the car. An owner brain, which is, look, if you're an owner, you got to have a different brain. You got to look at that car and say, sure, we can fix that. And maybe it's you that's going to fix that. But you look at it and say, are we going to make money fixing it? Is this the right car to bring in? Do we have the right tools? And if we don't, we're not going to go buy the tools to fix it. It's like, this is not the right car for us. And then you look at, you know, how do you make the business work with that car that's sitting in front of you? Two different brains. And as an owner, you got to always be thinking first as the owner brain. Now, if you decide it makes sense and you happen to be the one turning wrenches, then go salivate and have fun working on the car. But that owner brain is got to take front and center.
Yeah, and I think about that all the time. And my mind went right to when, you know, you make a $50 mistake, you know, do the math, take your net profit percentage and divide it and see how much more you got to sell. I mean, that's thinking with the owner brain. I'm having a lot of fun right now at the shop because I'm training a new service advisor. You know, somebody, at least from the owner's mentality, is really green. And I'm trying to put that owner's brain on him and get the technician and the service advisor brain out. And it's just important. I know exactly what you're talking about, Ron. I remember the last conference we went to, the busiest place in the whole conference center was the trade show, when people are walking around looking at the latest whiz-bang scan tool and all of that kind of stuff. And it's like, man, that's not going to make you the money. I know we need to be well equipped. It's educating yourself and looking at those things. You know, one of the things, you know, we talk about maybe trade in time for money. And I remember a long time ago at one of the conferences, Ron, when I was in the audience before we became business partners, you know, you talked about quit trading time for money, quit doing $100 or, you know, $15 an hour jobs when you could be actually doing, you know, paying somebody to do that, because you should only be doing the things that only you can do. What can you do that only you can do? And it better not, I hope you're not answering, diagnose that car, because you're the best tech in the shop. And I know a lot of you might be there. I was there once, but you got to grow past that, put that owner brain on. I know when we go into it's a great exercise. And I know we always walk folks through this often when we meet maybe shop owners for the very first time. We're trying to help them. Ron and I used to travel around the country doing boot camps before COVID shut everything down. But you know, what I would do is they would bring their P&Ls and we would go through the financials, and I'd spend a lot of time teaching them, trying to give them that owner's brain. But one of the things where the light bulbs really clicked is I asked them, go ahead and take a look at the bottom line. How much did you make last year? And I want you to do the same thing. If the owner's on the call today, go ahead and take a look at your bottom line. Write it down. What did you make last year? I'm going to use simple numbers and say you made $50,000. I don't want to get into splitting hairs, whether that's a lot, whether that's, you're crazy. How could a shop only make 50,000? We had people make much less. Sometimes we looked at that P&L and it said zero. And if that's where you're at, do the math. And then I would say, okay, write that down. So let's just take $50,000 as an example. The business made 50,000 last year. That's what I made out of the business. And then I would say, how many hours do you work? And how many hours do you work a week? Let's just say it that way. And most of the time, people would say 40, but I'm a shop owner too. And I know you don't work 40. How many hours do you really work? So I'm not talking about I work 8 to 5, that's 50 hours a week. No, you go home on the weekend and you do your books. That counts too. So how many hours do you really work? And then do the math. So again, just write that number down. How many hours do I work a week? And how many hours do I really work a week? And, I just did some simple math. 40 hours a week comes times 52 is 2,080 hours a year. 60 hours a week, and that's where most people are working. I know it. That comes to 3,120. I want you to take that money that your bottom of your P&L shows. What did you earn? If you earn $50,000, divided by that 3,120, hopefully everybody's following me. It comes to about $16 an hour. That's what you really make, $16 an hour. And that can be kind of sobering to take a look at. I saw yesterday on the news, and I don't want to split hairs over all of that, but Target's paying people $24 an hour now. I don't know if you saw that or not. Target, $24 an hour. Are they working all that time? Do they worry if, could do when the employee calls in sick and does all of those things? So take a look at that and quit doing $15 an hour work and do only what you can do. And that most of that comes from having that business brain.
Yeah. And look, the reason why I became a business owner is because there's leverage there. Okay. You're leveraging more than just you turning wrenches. Some of you may have started being the shade tree mechanic, just working out of your garage or something like that. And let's just say, just for round numbers, let's say it's $100 an hour that you're charging. Okay. Maybe higher, maybe lower. It doesn't really matter. I'm just going to use this as an example. What happens when you're not turning wrenches? Are you getting paid? No. What happens when you're sick? You getting paid? No. What happens when you go on vacation? You getting paid? No, because you're paid for turning wrenches. Now, flip that on being an owner. You're leveraging yourself and other people as well. The better you are at leverage, you can stay home. You can take a day off and go golfing, fishing, hunting, boating, whatever you want to do. If the shop's open, you're making money. Okay, so think about that. Do you want that tool or you want that knowledge? That tool will only make you money when it's being used. The knowledge, when applied, makes you money all of the time. So think about that technician brain versus that owner brain. And if you're one of the ones that's going to be out in Kansas City starting, I guess, Friday, I think that's the first day of it, or maybe it starts tomorrow, but I know I speak on Friday. So that's the only day that matters. Are you going to be at my seminar? Are you going to be listening to how you can get the right amount of car count in your shop and the right people in the shop? Or are you going to find out what that scan tool is going to do for you? That's a decision you get to make. I think I don't know if it's sold out. I don't know if you can make changes to your class. I'm not trying to get more people in my class. I'm just trying to prove a point. And for those of you who are staying home, focus on where you make money. That tool may be cool. That technique may be cool. Your business is what you chose to do. So let's start working on the business. That's all I got. Jerry, anything else?
I was going to just quickly, I know we try to keep this to
Sure.
20 minutes, but I saw something pop through my email today and I thought it was kind of relevant, so I thought I'd share it. Came through, it says there's 3 types of business owners. Think about this. Number 1, people who ignore the numbers and slowly sink to demise. Of course, that's number 1, because I love the numbers and you got to understand the numbers in a business. Number 2, people who work harder, but not smarter and never truly grow. That's a lot about what we're talking about. And then the last one, and then there's the people who go straight to the source of success and model the actions of the most profitable business owners, leaders, and companies in history. So take a look about maybe somebody that you really admire. Maybe there's a shop owner in town that's got 3 or 4 locations. Is he growing and making money because he's the best technician in town? Or did he learn how to run a successful business and he's the best business owner in town? I definitely think the latter is more prevalent.
Couldn't have ended it better. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.